Well, hello, everybody. My name is Mark Palermo, and I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Tom Delisle, and our frequent guest, Mr. Joe Bella. And we're here for episode 17 of the Lawrence History Project. And today we're going to be just doing a sort of a shotgun. Just throw a bunch of images up here. We're going to react to it. And I'm here with my host. By the way, I want to thank you might wonder what us old guys do after we leave here. My wife, I want to mention my wife. I better do this, or I'm going to get in hot water. She's so gracious. You guys know Esther. She's cooking for you guys right now. We leave here and we go to my house, where Esther cooks a delicious meal. And when I left the house, guys, she was cooking up sausages and beans on the stove, and with some rice and some salad right from the garden. Wow. So that's what we do. That's what us old guys do. And after we do that, we go home and take a nap. Right. That's what you do. If you're young, and you're looking ahead, that's what you do when you're in your 70s. So anyway, without further ado, Tom?
And they say that a nap could add 15 years to your life.
Yeah, the
if
final
you take
15.
A nap regularly.
Yeah, the final
years.
15.
The final 15. We're probably deep, seventh inning stretch into the 15 years.
All right, Joe, you have anything to add to that?
To me, age is just a number.
Well, you know
Good
what?
for you.
Old age is not so bad. If your main thing is stay connected with people and take care of your health, and it just takes care of yourself. Don't worry about anything. Okay, without further ado, guys, let's dive into our first picture here. This is our compliments of Lawrence Daily Eagle in Eagle. This is the Lawrence Post Office, which fell victim to the Wreckers Ball back about 1969 or 70.
Probably, around that time.
Which angered everybody. It's not that they had to knock it down for a children's hospital or a highway. They just knocked it down and left an empty lot there for about the next 20 years. Yeah. And just another stupid decision.
McDonald's there now.
Well, yeah, you need a McDonald's.
That's
sure.
insult to
you gotta
injury.
Have a McDonald's, right? Can we have the next one, please? We're going to show it. That's a postcard. Let's see what it really looked like. The next photo. Yeah, there's a photo.
There it is.
Tom, did you say they had a dog in there or something?
They had a dog that was a mascot. We'll have another show. The archives, Lawrence Archives, has this great dog, some great shots of the mail carriers, and the woodwork in there was beautiful. It was beautiful.
I think that's the Masonic temple, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I think you're right.
I think you're right.
It's similar, though.
Yes, it looks similar. Yeah,
that is
right.
the Masonic temple.
That's the Masonic.
That's the Masonic temple. Oh my God, that's still there, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. Although I don't think they're taking care. They don't really understand what to do with it. I don't know.
It's run by the present Lawrence United.
Last I heard, they had a homeless cafe. Homeless people can come and hang around.
I think that's gone.
That's
now.
gone.
There
now.
used to be a club. Was it the Point After
Point
Club?
After
or
Club.
something?
Downstairs.
Yeah.
Downstairs.
But they left about 4 or 5 years ago.
So what do they do now?
They rent the space.
Oh, for like parties and fundraisers and stuff?
It's rental.
Yeah.
And they meet there,
Yeah.
monthly.
Because they give meals out just a block away at the Bread and Roses on Newberry Street.
Oh, that's right.
They have daily meals there. They give to people.
Yeah.
They do a lot of good work.
Well, at least it's still standing. I have to figure out
Well,
something.
it's not that old.
It isn't, really?
1923.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought it was much older
Almost the
than
same
that.
year as the Central Bridge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next year. Do you guys remember this? There's a story
Oh,
behind
my
this.
God.
Yes. Great.
Joe's Bungalow. He was famous for chicken barbecue
Chicken
sandwiches.
bob, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. And you couldn't go inside to eat. It was strictly order only.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No sitting, no seating.
Wasn't it by the South Lawrence Common?
Yeah.
Or did it have different iterations? I remember.
No, it was right at the corner of Salem Street.
Yeah, in
and
South Lawrence.
Union.
South Union.
Mm-hmm.
Salem,
There's a sad story behind that. If you remember, his son went off and got killed in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's
He
on
was,
the list.
he was heartbroken, and he went to Vietnam. He made a personal pilgrimage to Vietnam to see if his son had died in vain. And I don't know what became of that.
Yeah.
But shortly after, the place disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Sad story.
Yeah, he closed. I think.
Maybe if anyone knows, they could email you.
Yes, that's right.
And
Anything
a
at all. If
follow-up
anybody
story.
wants to,
Yeah.
fill us in on any of this stuff, it's very easy. Just one word: lawrencehistoryproject@gmail.com. That's Lawrence History Project, one word, lawrencehistoryproject@gmail.com. We'd love to know if you hear anything else about this or anything else we bring up here.
Mhm.
It's a collaborative effort here. I downloaded this from the Lawrence Archives.
Mhm.
It's a bunch of flappers
Yes.
at the 1922, and they're at the Arlington Mill.
Mhm.
They look good.
Yeah.
They
You
do.
point those toes, girls.
Mhm.
They're showing quite a lot of leg for 1922. In
Too,
fact,
yeah.
that is pretty scandalous. Pretty scandalous. I'm surprised they didn't fire them for that.
Yeah.
Didn't you say, Joe, they had there were some shots of women in the mill at their stations, but it was staged. They dressed up, they looked happy, but that
think
wasn't
so.
the normal
Right,
routine.
right.
They were
Oh,
sort of,
really?
Yeah,
I know the
'cause- yeah.
picture you mean. I
'Cause
know
of-
the
yeah.
one you mean.
They
Yeah.
knew they were going to be photographed.
they knew they were going to be photographed. Yeah,
Mm.
it was like when we were in boot camp, when the admiral was going to come through.
Yeah.
That day, the one day in 3 months, we had steak. Otherwise,
Is
it was
that
sloppy
right?
joes.
Yeah.
So it's the same
SOS.
thing. SOS. Yeah, SOS. Same thing.
All right. Next, please. Oh, you remember
Whoa.
this, huh? Is it 1994? This is
Yeah.
Malden Mills fire.
Yes.
Wow.
I didn't take any pictures of it.
I
but
didn't either.
from the cemetery road.
Right.
You could. Oh, it looked like a bombing of Dresden or Tokyo.
Yes.
It
I
was
heard.
so surreal.
Yeah.
It was scary looking.
Yeah.
And the Malden Mills fire. They were 94 or 95, I think it was.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, because those boards, everything gets dry.
Yeah.
They get impregnated with
Yeah. Chemicals.
oils and
Oils and-
chemicals and
yeah.
everything. It just went up. Look at that.
Wow.
I went down the next day to shoot it after the fire was out, and all the pipes there was ice encased. We'll have some shots of that. In
Oh,
the future.
great. Yeah, we should. Yeah, we could do a whole program on
Yeah.
that.
'Cause it's-
Oh,
I
yes,
have
that was
another one.
amazing.
I have another one on there. Next. Yeah, here's another
Beautiful
one.
shot.
Wow.
It's probably
It
a
was-
Tribune photographer.
I don't. I
Maybe.
think I
That's
got
a
that
great
from the
shot.
archives.
Wow.
Yeah, they were everything burned. Wow, it was just an inferno.
Mm-hmm.
Scary.
Do they know how it started? Did they ever determine?
Maybe some of our listeners would
Yeah.
know and could let us know.
Because everybody in Lawrence worked there at one time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Someone's
I
gotta
did
know.
too. You did
Yeah.
too,
Oh
right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was hell.
Everyone.
It was hell. Oh my
Mhm.
God.
We used to send
Sunday
people,
Sunday cleanup crew.
when I worked at the Lawrence Employment, we sent people there like almost every other day for jobs.
I know. Mm-hmm.
But they had a high turnover, right? So-
Well, they needed help. They needed the workers.
well, I don't blame them.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is-
nobody. If anybody has it, that's a job you get until you get something better.
And it's such a large
Yeah.
factory that we easily had no problems in sending people
yeah.
over.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get out of there, and I'd have to throw away my clothes. It's so. I can imagine what that did to my lungs.
Oh,
They did to
yeah,
my
right. Ah.
clothes. They were embedded with this. This solvent. It smelled like
Ooh.
just cancer.
Yeah.
Geez, well, anyway, that was then. I'm still here.
Yeah.
Next, please. What else we have? Now, there's another shot.
Yeah, the Masonic.
Oh, the Masonic Temple. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I'm confusing it with the. I think I was confusing it with the. Look at that! Isn't that beautiful?
That
Wow.
is.
Yeah.
It looks kind of shabby now. It's probably needs sand. It doesn't need much. It needs sandblasting and.
Whenever
Probably
people would talk about the White Fund paintings,
Mhm.
you know, that at the Museum of Fine Arts, I always used to say, well, why don't they put them in the Masonic Temple building? To me, that looks like a museum
It does.
and have heavy security,
Mm-hmm.
bars on the windows. There's your museum for the White Fund paintings.
Yeah.
Right.
And I always got shot down.
Mhm.
No,
Well,
no.
the argument is, the White Fund paintings are worth millions.
Well, yeah.
And I mean,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
you can get some security guards. I mean, are they going to get shot?
Yeah.
You know, $20 an hour security. Are they going to get shot for protecting them?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't personally. I don't think
They couldn't
so.
protect the Rembrandt
Everybody said, well,
and the
no.
gardener,
Yeah.
so they're not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the Gardner Museum couldn't
Oh,
protect
that
that
was a
stuff,
mess.
Mhm.
yeah. Once the word get out that those things are worth millions,
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't give them much tongs through.
And now the building's tagged, I think. Last time I went by,
Is it?
someone tagged the building.
Well, oh, you mean tag? You mean writings
Yes,
and stuff?
that's, spray
that's too
painted.
bad.
Wow.
I think the city should have a tag like workforce. It's a bunch of people
Right.
with paints, it's paint matching. And as soon as some place is tagged, go out and paint it over. You can't
Yeah,
let the
They
city.
should. I think some cities have that.
Some cities
Yeah.
do have it, and
Yeah.
oftentimes they have to have a police guard with them because the taggers don't like the idea of somebody
yeah.
working with their artwork. But
Yep.
I mean, you just can't let taggers take over your city. It's
No.
nothing makes it more ghetto looking.
I think they can get a clear coat that goes over it so it's easy to wash off,
Oh,
but that's got to be applied.
Yeah,
Not every
yeah,
building
yeah.
can do that.
Wow.
next, please. Do you guys remember this?
Absolutely.
This is pre-Amazon.
Mhm.
Okay, 1950s style Amazon before the internet, the Racket Store.
Yeah.
I remember an elderly Jewish man used to run this place.
Yeah.
And anything you needed that was unusual or weird or just one of a set, they don't make it anymore. That's what people used to say. You remember like your parents saying, oh, I don't know where I can get it. Let's try the Racket Store.
That's my mother.
Yeah.
She lived there.
Did she really? Yeah.
Every other day she'd be at the
Yeah, my
record-
mother would be there all the time. I need
Yeah.
this, I need that.
Yeah.
Was
I
it
don't
a-
think he had any inventory control. I think he knew in his head.
Yeah.
He just had everything
Right.
stored away.
Right.
He'd just go rummaging through the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it a brother and sister?
Was it? I don't know. Do you remember,
know,
Joe?
Well, I know someone who worked there,
Mhm.
a woman that worked there for years and years. You know, the desk, they had a roll top desk,
Mhm.
and it was in an antique shop in Mass, not too far from here. They put a price tag of $10,000 on that, and it sold.
It's sold.
Really? Yeah.
From the
yeah.
Racket Store, there was a photograph on top of the desk
Mhm.
for sale, right from a Racket Store, Lawrence, Mass.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
somebody bought it when the second time I went there.
Well, that's been
gone.
gone several years. I'd say it probably went out in the 70s, late 70s, maybe,
Yeah,
I'd guess.
probably.
Early 80s.
I think so.
Yeah.
The Racket
Do you know where they got the name from? Racket. Was it a family name or
There must have been a
why it
story.
was called?
I would say there
the
would be a
Racket
story
Store?
behind
Oh,
it.
yeah.
If anybody knows that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let us know. Why do they call it the Racket Store? Anybody know anything else about it?
Yeah.
It was really a curiosity.
There must
This
be a
is
reason.
Yeah.
why they-
I mean, I don't think you could run a business like that nowadays. Just,
Yeah.
he had it all in his head.
Yeah.
My father, you remember they had all this problem with gas explosions and stuff? My father was the supervisor of gas distribution in the Lawrence Gas Company. He was he had it all in his head. Low pressure area is not a problem, but a high pressure area is very dangerous.
Yeah.
And this is like 50s, 60s, right into the 70s. He had it all in his head. And he was one with the system, you might say.
Mhm.
Of course, towards the end of his career, they went into digital, computerized stuff, and that went out.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
But I often think if my father had been in charge of that, it wouldn't have happened the way it did,
The big one, back maybe 10 years ago,
Yeah,
or maybe 7 years
6 or
ago.
7 years ago. Yeah.
Because it was the pressure.
It was high
right?
pressure.
High
yeah,
pressure.
out of
High
control.
pressure.
Everything's computerized. How do you know if if they don't upgrade the software
Yeah.
properly?
Yep.
There's just a million things could go wrong. But
And it did.
that was his job.
Wow.
I mean, he was one with the system.
Yeah.
Another thing he could do. It's a little off the track, but he was a dowser, water
Oh,
dowser.
yeah. Mhm.
He's the least most likely person you ever think could have this ability. But some people do it with a forked stick. He had these copper L rods that would swing freely. He'd walk across the street, and he told me he could tell the difference between a gas main and a water main.
Wow.
And when he'd go over, he'd walk like this with these L rods. He'd walk across a gas main, and they would whoops.
Yeah.
They would just go like that. I mean, there's no question about it. Very determined motion. And they would just snap.
Mhm.
You'd walk past them, and then they'd go loose. You'd turn around, walk backwards, holding this L rod, and then boy, they'd snap right into position.
Wow.
And then he'd just casually take a piece of chalk out of his pocket, put it there, and the men would
Back
come there
on.
and dig there. That's where the gas main is.
Old school.
Yeah. You have to, I know this sounds like really crazy stuff. You have to see it. You gotta
I've
see
seen
it.
those. I've used those, right? I forget what I had
me
them.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Does it work for
legit.
you? It doesn't work
It
for
worked.
me.
I forget what it.
Yeah.
We weren't checking for gas or water, but there was something. But there's a definite movement there,
Yeah,
and you're not
yeah.
controlling it. You're
Right.
just holding them there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never got anything at all when I
Mhm.
tried
Really?
it. But he, oh my God, it was just like, and he didn't think it was any big deal. You know, some of the guys have magnetism. That's all. You wouldn't even talk about it. I think,
Yeah.
this is unbelievable.
Wow.
How'd you learn to do that? He said, I just had magnetism. That's all.
Wow.
That would have worked good at the CYO dances with the girls. You know, the magnetism. If it, that's the one.
CYO dances.
Good old
Yeah.
CYO.
Oh man, you had to run the gamut. I remember girls on one side,
Mm-hmm.
boys on the other side. You want to ask a girl to dance, you have to leave the boys, walk all the way across the auditorium, go to some girl, hey, would you like to dance? She says no. You have to
No,
turn
right.
around, walk back. Everybody
Busted.
see.
Busted.
No, you're busted, buddy. I'm done for the night.
Humiliated.
I might get up the nerve to try a second one, but after that, I'm done for the night.
Wow. No.
I remember Dick Summers came one time.
Oh
Remember
yeah, he was a
Dick, that
great guy.
DJ?
Yeah,
And he was handing out 45s,
yeah.
and we used to wear sports coats. So
Yeah.
I got one. I traded my sports coat, so I went for a second one. So cheap. He says, "Didn't I just give you one?" No, that wasn't me.
He was
That
a
was a
good-
big deal. Dick Summers.
He was a great guy. Yeah.
Yes.
He ruled Boston,
Mhm.
the airways back then, 60s. Dick Summer. I think he's still alive, if I'm not mistaken. He's getting up there. I love this photo.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen
Murphy.
this all over. I don't know if you can. I didn't see the guy on the right. They got to be Italians,
Mm-hmm.
right? The
But
guy.
Murphy's.
Huh?
Maybe the Irish. Murphy's Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, it says barbecue.
Oh, in the
And you
back.
see, that
Okay.
was. Remember that guy, Joe, whatever his name was. He had a barbecue way down on Essex Street towards the Everett Mills.
Mhm.
They have chicken barbecue.
Mm.
Not St. Ritzy's. Was it?
It
near
was across the
Ritzy's?
street from
Across the
Ritzy's.
street.
It was across the street.
Yes,
from
I don't
Ritzy's.
remember that.
And I think there was one on South Broadway. The same later
yeah,
on.
yeah.
They opened another one on South Broadway. Chicken
The
bar-
Bungalow. Well, that would be Joe's. Joe's Bungalow. right?
Bungalow.
Joe Burnett's. That's what the guy.
Burnett.
Joe Burnett's.
Burnett.
On
Chi-
Essex Street.
I don't. Chicken barbecues were a thing in Lawrence those days.
Yeah.
Now you see the old timer on the right. He's holding a cigarette. It's too bad this photo is too small. He's holding. Now most Americans will hold a cigarette like this. Here, see this? They put it between their fingers like that.
Yeah.
Smoke like. He's smoking the old Italian way.
Mhm.
They smoke like this, almost like if it's
Very
a
cool.
joint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They smoke. Oh no, not like that. Like this.
Oh, underneath. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like
Yes.
that. He's holding the cigarette like that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he's Italian. He's got to be Italian.
Yeah.
You know.
You see that? Yeah, Giancarlo Giannini in the Italian movies.
Yeah.
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 Mastriani.
You see how he's
Yeah.
holding it?
Yeah.
You can't really see. It's not very well defined. You can't really see it. Yeah. The 3 old timers. Yeah.
That's a
5 old
great shot.
timers. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Next, please. What else we have here? I forgot what's in here. Oh, I worked a couple of summers in the mills, right along the canals. And I remember going to the washroom and seeing a sign just like this. In other words, you can use the canal water for washing, but don't drink it.
Right.
I think it's piped it right in from the canal.
Probably.
Do not
Yeah.
drink this water; it will make you sick.
Yikes.
And then there's in French, and then it's in Polish, and there's another one. I don't know what that is. In the bottom is obviously Greek.
Mhm.
Imagine that.
Wow.
So you could. I think they piped it right in without filtering.
Probably.
So you can wash up
Mhm.
with this filthy water from the canal.
Mhm.
Okay, solvents and raw sewage
but
and
don't
everything.
drink
Just
it.
don't drink it. You know. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Isn't that great?
That's,
Oh.
that's a great shot.
What else have we got here? It's a grab bag of stuff. Oh, yeah, you guys know
Wow.
this is.
The prison.
Yep. Lawrence Jail.
Yep.
That lasted a long time. I think
Yeah.
almost probably in the
Kinda,
early
yeah.
90s, maybe.
Was
And,
that built during the Civil War? Something like
I don't think so.
1860s?
Yeah, I think it was
60s
just
or something?
around that time. Yep. In fact, one of the directors there, a gentleman named Bradstreet, was a Civil War veteran.
in the beginning, yeah.
And
yeah.
when he passed away, he's at the cemetery in Georgetown
Mhm.
now. And I found his large stone. But he lived there. His address, if you look at the Lawrence directory,
Mhm.
John Bradstreet, his address was the Lawrence Jail.
Yeah.
Gee,
Yeah.
Imagine living in the jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was the director. He managed the
Living in the
place.
jail.
It-
You know, they had chamber pots in there. They
yeah,
have plumbing.
I heard. Yeah.
Chamber pots.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was just deemed obsolete. But it's too bad they couldn't find a dual use for that. This
Yeah.
is, I don't know how hard they tried, but this is Lawrence, you know.
Right.
There was ample parking, everything. It just would have been something magnificent. The clock tower. Is there a
Water
stair-
tower,
Joe?
yeah.
No, the
The res.
water tower. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now is that the actual water supply to this day of Lawrence?
Yep.
And it's still there, by the
Mhm.
way, for those of you who are wondering.
And
It's
they used to play music. They used to have a musical sound.
Really?
Yeah, one of the doctors, Dr. DeCisa,
Oh,
was
I remember that. Yeah.
he was involved with having music being played up there back in the 50s, I think it was 50s, 60s.
Mhm.
And they did play it, and then all of a sudden it stopped.
Was it just for?
I don't know. It was,
Did they have a dance or concert? Or just,
no, it was just music,
Music.
played certain times of certain days, certain
Yeah.
times of the day.
Wow.
And he pushed for that, and they get it.
So that's still the operational water tower for the city of Lawrence.
Yeah.
They're still using it.
Yeah.
Now, is there a stairway up there?
Yes,
Can you still use it, or probably not?
I think so.
My cousins know some of the workers that work there. I give
Yeah.
my eye truth to be able to get in there, but
Oh
you
yeah.
can't get in.
But there
And
is
now
a,
even the water's gone. They filled in the
Yeah.
res.
right, yeah.
Did they?
They
Oh,
filled
you're
it.
kidding.
They were afraid of terrorism. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
I think it was a rule in the state, different states.
No
and they-
open reservoirs.
Right, and they did
Right.
it in Massachusetts
Yeah.
now.
You know, anybody could come by there with a can full
Oh,
of
yeah.
radioactive,
Yeah,
you know,
Canal water.
or plutonium. Just throw it in there, and
Yeah,
you know, you
mercury,
Could,
you know.
that's
yeah.
But a lot of people use it. You always see people walking around there.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
still it's a nice
When did
venue
they fill
in
it
a
in?
sense.
I think it was
Maybe 5 years ago or
Wow, I
maybe
didn't
more.
know
yeah,
that. I
roughly
haven't been up there in a
between
while.
10 and
Yeah.
5. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there you have it,
Mhm.
folks. If you're listening from Florida or something, like some of our viewers, reservoir has been filled in.
Yeah,
Oh, here's St. Anne's Church.
there's the old and the new.
Yeah. No, they have a bunch of churches around there, and they've repurposed them. And the ironic thing is, the nicest one, in my opinion, the nicest one, they let it go.
Mhm.
Tom, you've been in there, right?
Yes, back in the late 70s, I took a few shots. And now I guess everything's been taken out, hollowed out. And I
Yeah.
think it's for sale for like 700,000.
Wow.
That's what I had heard. I don't know if it's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And they would make a great like concert venue of the acoustic, but there's no parking.
yeah.
I understand they had massive columns of Italian marble.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear about that? They took them out, I think. They stripped them out, sent them to God knows where.
Right.
Italian marble, massive things. It had sort of cathedral ceiling in there. We have some more pictures of that. I was just there yesterday on some business. I had to go to Northern Essex. And I took this picture yesterday. So you see a sign out there. I mean, you see signs and a fence,
Yeah.
and you see an X. This has been closed since 1991.
That long.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Here's the back. You
Yeah.
can see
Mm.
windows gone. You see the lower right, lower left. Even the brickwork is starting to crumble. So it's doubtful anybody's gonna, after
Rehab it.
30 years.
They don't build them like that anymore.
Oh no, which
No.
is a shame. I think it's the best one of the three churches in that block.
Mhm.
They rehabbed the other two. This is the last midnight mass in St. Anne's, 1991.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, the sad thing it must have been
Mhm.
to walk out of there and know that it would be, would go into history. Next, please. Now, I took this yesterday too, and this is St. Francis Church, just the same block.
Yes.
Oh.
And you notice the windows on the side, they weren't there before.
Mhm.
Somebody has gone in there and they've made either apartments or a school.
Whoa.
So there's a private school in there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So they have repurposed that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a Lithuanian church.
Right.
My
St.
mother was
Francis.
Lithuanian, so when I was a kid, we used to go there once in a while.
Yep.
And this from the parking lot here.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
That's what it looked like. Notice that they put in windows in the back.
Yeah.
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 So they did repurpose it,
Mm.
which is nice. You hate to see them taken down. This is a May procession from
Right.
the 40s. It's almost like a a thing of the past. I don't know if they still have
I
them.
don't know. I know it.
Yeah.
But all the Catholic schools, they used to have a day in May. They would take a girl and they would make her like Queen of the May procession. The kids
Yeah.
would dress up, altar boys. It was like a sweet little thing. It looks like something from Europe, old
Yeah.
Europe, you know.
Old
Yeah.
school.
They would close off the street and they would have a May procession.
I was St. Thomas one year.
I remember
It
that.
was-
Yeah.
It was terrible.
You know, I
Because
have
some nuns, they dressed me up in a habit to look like I was a monk.
yeah, a
And there's
medieval
a little
monk. I
kid in
remember
front of me
that.
walking St. Thomas, that
Yeah.
sign in front. And all the Protestant school kids that I knew, hey, St. Thomas, do a miracle for us. That was running the gauntlet.
I remember they
Wow.
dressed you up like a
Wow.
monk or something,
Like a monk,
medieval
yeah.
monk.
But these nuns, Sister Emma Patricia, the
oh
sweetheart.
yeah, is she the one?
You know, I had everything but the cowl. Traumatized.
This is Sister Emma Patricia. Just passed
was a
away.
sweetheart.
She was. Oh yeah. Oh, I adored her. She was about. She died just about 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah?
She lived a long time. I think she
She
lived
wa-
almost
yeah.
100. Yeah.
Because
yeah.
she was maybe in her late 20s, early 30s at the most when we were in eighth
No,
grade.
she was actually almost our parents' age. She looked much
She was?
younger.
Wow.
Yeah, she was almost our parents' age. Yeah, she was. I know she looked much younger. She
Much
acted
younger.
much longer. Yeah. The Great Stone Dam. We could do a whole.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure
Yeah.
Joe has a lot of stuff on this. The Great Stone Dam.
Yeah.
What an engineering marvel! They put this thing up
Yes.
before the Civil War,
Yes.
and it's still.
1843.
Is that right? Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Was it Irish? A lot of Irish, I heard?
A lot.
A lot. Mhm.
In fact, the South Lawrence End, it was a shanty pond in the shanty village or something.
Yeah.
When they,
The
you know,
shanty town. Yeah.
shanty
yeah.
town, they named it, yeah.
You know,
They did good
they're
work.
still doing things like that nowadays, like in Dubai, for example.
Mm-hmm.
They built up Dubai, but they've got all workers from India and places. They're paying them just nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And they live in shanties.
Yeah.
They live in apartments, 10 guys to
Yeah.
a one-bedroom apartment.
Mm-hmm.
They do that all over the world.
Yeah.
You know, it's a shame.
Yeah. Oh,
They're taking this down.
yes, I
Is that
heard.
the
They
North
haven't already-
Station?
I heard.
Yeah, I've
B&M,
heard they're going to take it down.
They're going to
yeah.
take it down?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're putting apartments, I think.
Surprise,
Apartments.
surprise.
They're putting apartments, yeah.
yeah,
I remember going there, my sister and I, when we were little,
Yeah.
because we didn't have a car.
yeah.
So to get to Boston to see the ice follies, the ice capades,
Ice capade.
we had to
yeah.
go through the B&M station,
Yeah,
take
yeah.
the train. Yeah,
So it's probably shuttered up, closed down now? You wouldn't be able to get in?
No, you can't.
Yeah,
No,
you might be able to
good
get some
shots in there.
shots, Tom, but
Yeah.
yeah,
it's-
outside.
Outside.
You better hurry because
Yeah.
it's pretty much a done
It's-
deal. I
it's
think,
gonna
from what
go.
I heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here is Holy Trinity Church, the school.
Oh, school.
Yeah.
Now,
No,
does
Holy
it-
Rosary.
I believe it's Holy Trinity, Tom.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know if they've taken this down yet. Have they repurposed it? Do you know? Have you been by there yet recently?
Yeah, so far it's
I think they closed the church.
yeah,
And they closed the school probably
Right,
about
yeah.
15,
Closed.
15 years ago. But
But
I don't know about the building.
yeah, I don't know what they're doing with that.
It was still up, I think. I went by the Leahy a few weeks ago, and I think that's still up.
Yeah, it probably is.
That would be perfect for a
Oh,
apartment.
look at that. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
it may
It's
well
great.
be.
Yeah, yeah.
You never know.
Now, there's some writing on there. It almost looks like your writing, Joe. I got this from the archives. 1937 World's Pocket Billion.
Wow.
Is that Willie Moscone? Because he used to go to the rec.
Well, yeah,
He would tour.
yeah. Like Lawrence is really big on pool
That's a
and
great
billiards.
shot.
Huh? There were pool halls
yeah.
everywhere. Oh my God!
Oh, everywhere.
Especially the rec, the
The rec,
Lawrence
that was a big
Recreation
one.
Center.
In fact,
That
I
was-
heard W.C. Fields came to Lawrence.
Come on, really?
Oh, yeah?
Yes, to do pool.
Mhm.
That was his favorite.
W.C.
Pastor.
Fields.
Oh,
yeah.
W.C. Fields came. Burt Lancaster, and I'm not sure if that's true or not.
Mhm.
I heard Burt Lancaster also came to Lawrence.
Whoa.
That's my phone. I forgot
Somebody's
to
got
shut
a
it
phone.
off.
You know, I'm gonna have to shut mine off too. Oh yeah.
Wow.
I just downloaded this for the archives.
Mm-hmm.
There's no year, no
Mm-hmm.
explanation or anything. But I just thought this is so cool.
Very cool.
Look at the expression on their face. Look at the expression on her face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just says, "This is my man. I'm going to stand by him. I'll walk through hell for this guy."
Yeah.
And look at how serious and earnest they are. They're beautiful.
they
I could
dr-
look at that every day.
And they're
you know?
dressed.
And look how dressed up.
they're
Look how
dressed
dressed
up,
up they
yeah.
are. You know.
Yeah.
I bet they had a great life. You know.
I picked
And I
up
bet
a
they had.
book
Huh?
on the Italian Americans, and they mentioned Lawrence in the Lawrence Strike,
Yeah.
2-page spread, big
Yeah.
book. And I guess they had dresses and costumes. A lot of the people, that wasn't their clothes,
Oh yeah.
but it was so formal. They
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to look their best.
You notice how narrow
And they had to hold that pose.
her
to-
waist, you know how narrow her waist was?
Well, she's probably
corset.
working 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like almost like going to the gym.
Yeah.
You know, depending what you're
Back
doing.
then.
But anyway, I think it's time to wrap it up here. I'm getting a signal from Cassie.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you all be well and be grateful for every day. And from myself, my co-host, Tom Delisle, frequent guest, Mr. Joe Bella. I think Joe might be coming another co-host here. He's here all the time. Joe, so we wish you a good day, and we'll see you again in the next episode of Lawrence History Project. Adios.